All right, thank you for your call. Victor, when we were talking about this is something that can easily be found in your blood test, what is it that the doctor is looking at? Is the doctor looking at cholesterol that you would find the number?
It's
what should
actually,
you ask for?
Yeah, the serum uric acid level.
Okay.
And anything above 6 milligrams per deciliter is too high.
Okay.
And like I said, most lab reports usually show levels as high as 8.5.
Okay, serum uric acid level. That's what you want to ask a doctor for.
Right. Now, it's important to point out that that's the unit of measure they use in the United States. In Canada, because we're here in Western New York, you have a lot of Canadian viewers. In Canada, they use micromoles per liter, and that's a completely different unit of measure.
All right, but if you get the book, it'll explain.
Yeah, it will.
All right. Another phone call. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi, who is this?
I'm Terry. I'm on the east side of Buffalo.
Okay.
I wanted to ask if this book contained anything about children with gout.
Oh, children with gout.
Sure. Children with gout is very, very rare. Uric acid levels usually start out low and build during life. If you have a child with gout, that usually is caused by some other underlying medical condition, maybe a kidney dysfunction or some other more serious disease.
Right, that's allowing the uric acid to form.
Absolutely.
In a larger volume, unfortunately.
Right.
And we were talking about the long-term effects, and this is why it's important to understand and treat gout, because it can lead to so many other diseases, which doctors, as of now, have been reticent to either know about. I would imagine, right?
And like I pointed out, as many as 1 in 3 people have high levels of uric acid, but only about 10 to 20% of those actually go on to develop gout.
I see.
So in the rest of those people who don't have gout, there are no symptoms. This uric acid is doing its damage silently and causing the heart disease and the kidney damage and the liver damage. And you had a segment yesterday on about stroke in African Americans. And African Americans tend to have higher levels of uric acid, so there may be a connection between uric acid and the stroke segment you had on yesterday.
So people should definitely be talking to their doctors.
Absolutely.
What about our Native American population?
I haven't seen anything about Native American populations, but the highest, the race with the highest levels are Pacific Islanders.
Oh, interesting.
They have extremely high levels of hyperuricemia and gout.
All right, we have another phone call standing by. Good morning, welcome.
Good morning, my name is Wendy.
Yes, Wendy, go ahead.
I was 20 years old and I had a flare-up with gout, and I haven't had a flare-up since. Am I going to get that again? I'm 43 now.
Okay.
It depends on the underlying cause, and females are usually, it's very rare for females to have gout or hyperuricemia before menopause, because estrogen plays a mediating role with uric acid in the body. So if you're a female with gout before menopause, then there's very likely some underlying cause. There are cases of hyperuricemia and gout associated with pregnancy. I don't know if you've been pregnant, but that may be a possibility as well.
All right, well, we have just it lit up the phones with questions about this, and I believe we have someone else standing by, and we're happy to be able to answer your question. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, yes, who is this?
This is Alva.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yes, I had some problems with, I believe, gout and the aching in the joints. And I read and tried eliminating shade foods, certain things, and especially sometimes too much beef or fatty things, and it seemed to help. And the shade foods were like green peppers, mushrooms, potatoes, things like that, and avoiding like alcohol and other things that seemed to help.
Okay, I'm glad for you, and you know what? I believe some of that is in the book.
Yes, and again, this goes back to the myth I was talking about with diet. A lot of people believe that gout is caused by diet, but diet can only make it worse or somewhat better.
Right.
And what your caller was talking about was, yeah, if you eliminate the alcohol in certain foods, it'll reduce the uric acid a little bit, but you may still have dangerously high levels of uric acid.
Yes, in fact, I think in history they call it the rich man's disease. The kings had gout.
Yes.
And then the doctors would come and say, you have to stop drinking because you're making this worse.
Right.
You have to get onto a better diet. So they always felt that there was a big diet component on that. And there is a connection. There is a connection. connection, but there's so much more to it, is what you found out. Lifestyle recommendations are here, and doctors have been generally very favorable towards this book and the research that you have done. And as a gout sufferer, there's nothing like having someone who suffers from it to be able to dispel the myths for you and to really do the research on it, because you're the one who's suffering with it. But you're doing much better, right?
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
That's great. And we want everybody to know this book is called Beating Gout, A Sufferer's Guide to Living Pain-Free. Now, right now, you can get it everywhere online, all right? Online, you can get this book, and we're going to have information for you. But come April 1st, this book will be out in bookstores everywhere because it's a second edition, all right? So if you don't want to go online, you can just wait a couple more weeks. But as we get through March, and April 1st, you'll see it out there. But it's called Beating Gout, A Sufferer's Guide to Living Pain-Free by our guest, Victor Conchin. It's by Eyewear Publishing, $16.95. And again, once we get past April 1st, it's going to be out there right now. But if you'd like to go online, you can go to beatinggout.com and you can get yourself a copy today. And I think that's what you're going to want to do. Victor, best of luck with this. Thank you for, and you're from Western New York. Thank you for researching this and being of such help to everybody out there. The 5 million nationally who are suffering from gout, hopefully their suffering will be over. Thanks a lot. All right, everybody, there you go. There's the book. All righty, what we're going to do is we're going to take another quick break, and we still have more to do, so we want you to stay with us.
The preceding segment was sponsored. Portions of the AM Buffalo and Buffalo Weekend programs are sponsored. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WKBW-TV or the host.